Probably when the phone had just sitting there. There you go. Get a blow. Yeah.
Get a mannequin or something.
Blonde hair.
He told me the other day, he said he wasn't gonna be here. He is. They're doing the first part of the play today, second part of it tomorrow. Wednesday, they will do the entire play. Thursday, they take off and it starts Friday. What he's telling me.
The house beside her because
Internet down?
someone to sell the house next to them.
Updates on these tablets that needs to be done?
Yeah, but it's in the packet.
I'm not getting that.
It's regarding her wanting to purchase the lot next to her. And that's the only way we can do it. We can't make those.
Let's just do this.
Yeah, it should have, it should have.
I was just telling him.
He was in, so I think yours was more updated than others. He was fine.
Right. And then county.
Now, let's go off.
I'll do it pretty quick. Let's keep it. Just watch it here and like keep an eye on it because it'll say update, sorry, then it'll download it and then it'll likely have to do it.
Have to start.
It may not, it may go ahead. I told it to just do it.
It didn't listen.
It is.
Just set her over here and let her do.
Somebody want to sign up to speak?
Is it gonna hit us? Is it not?
Telling me he's looking at the went over the road.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I now call to order this city council meeting, April 14th, 2025, city of Oak Hill, West Virginia. We will begin with our invocation, Pastor Mike Hicks of Jones Avenue Church of God, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, thank you for the opportunity to come together, united for the best of our community. We ask your blessing upon the proceedings here tonight. Grant wisdom, grant understanding. Father, in this most holy time of year, make us mindful, if not tonight, at some point during this week, just how much you love us and the price that you were willing to give to show that love to us. In the name of Jesus, amen. Amen.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now have our clerk call the roll, please.
Mayor Charles Briscoe,
Here.
Council at Large William Hannah-Bass.
Here.
Representatives from Ward 1, Diana Janey. Here. Roger Evans,
Here.
Terry Van Buskirk.
Here.
From Ward 2, Tim Buskus.
Here.
PJ Elder,
Here.
Chris Gill.
All right, thank you. You all have read the minutes. You all would like to make a motion to approve the minutes? We will begin. And accept.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second that we approve the minutes. All those in favor? All opposed? May we have a motion for the treasurer's report? Be accepted.
I'll move to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the treasurer's report. Any questions? All those in favor? All opposed? Thank you. In your correspondence in the packet, there is a letter, a Bloomfield letter. You can read that amongst yourselves. We also have a letter from Robert Pauley that we just added tonight regarding the concert coming.
Hello, City Council members. I apologize for my inability to attend tonight's meeting, but I trust my colleagues will effectively convey this message. As you may know, the first annual He Lives Gospel Concert event will take place on April 19th at 4 p.m. at the Lively Amphitheater, featuring DeLorna, an artist from Nashville, Tennessee with roots in Mercer County, as well as Eternity Crossing Southern Gospel Group and other talented local artists. We extend an invitation for you to join us for this special occasion. Sincerely, Robert Pauley, Lively Amphitheater Committee member and host of He Lives Gospel Concert.
All right. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Pauley. He is paying for this entire production out of his own pocket, so thank you, Robert. Outstanding citizen. Do we have any citizens' comments?
No.
All right, thank you. We will move on to unfinished business. Number one, the discussion and decision on charter amendment concerning city manager's residency, abandon or place on ballot for special election.
Since we received an objection to the charter, to this charter amendment, it couldn't move forward as it was presented. So now you have to decide whether to abandon that amendment or place it on the ballot.
Mayor, I would move that we abandon the post-charter amendment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to abandon the proposed charter amendment. All those in favor? All opposed? Thank you. Motion is carried. Moving on to number two, a discussion and decision on the method of the city manager's hire.
So last month I presented the proposal from Baker Tilly on them using them to recruit and go through the process for city manager. I also talked to the HR person from Fairmont, and I put that in the packet for you, everything that she told me. So she used ICMA, and that's where she got most of the people, most of the interest came from there. She sent it out to some other ones, but she didn't get much interest from anywhere else. So Gretchen and I prepared an advertisement that we would send to ICMA. I don't know, it was in the packet if you had a chance to read through it. It just tells about the position, a little bit about the city and the salary and the education requirements. So I just need to know what you all want to do.
Is there a cost associated with this option?
It's $650 to advertise with the ICMA. Now, I don't know what time period that's for, how long, I don't know how long that's for, but that's what they paid, was $650. And then if we put it on Indeed, there would be a small fee with that. And I found out that you could put restrictions on who could actually apply for those jobs in Indeed, so that should cut down some of the crazy people. We get people that don't have any kind of qualification, so.
So are you looking for a motion to go the ICMA way or the Baker Tilly?
Yes, either, however you all would like to do that.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we would go the ICMA way and then Indeed or whatever route that direction.
I second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to whatever, I'm sorry. We have a motion and a second with that from Mr. Elder and Mr. Van Buskirk. You all heard what they said. I can't remember it. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. But all those in favor? All opposed? All right, thank you. Please forgive me for that. All right, moving along to number 3, discussion and decision on establishing a land reuse agency.
We had, at our meeting last month, we had Michael Taylor here, and he explained the land reuse agency and how to get started on that. And you all asked for it to be on the agenda this month, so. Let's see what y'all think about it. If you wanna do it, if we wanna get into that or not.
Where are we at with the Collins school right now with that?
He still is working with, BMI and the Venable Trust on those. The last thing he was gonna do was get an appraiser for the school, so that he would have something to go to the Venable Trust with. And I haven't talked to him this month to see if he had done that yet.
The thing that bothers me with the land reuse agency, and I hate to feel this way, but I do. In Mr. Taylor's done an excellent job explaining and answering our questions, so no reflection on him whatsoever, but when I asked about how do you keep corruption out of it, because this agency appointed by members of council has a lot of authority to purchase property and sell it for whatever they want. And purchase it at whatever price they establish. It makes them, in his words, nimble. That's usually a good thing. It helps city governments deal with dilapidated property and create good situations. And I understand that they're not funded, but they can be funded from the general fund of this city, that the council can vote to give them money. Well, I've seen the ugly part of city council, in not this city council, but I've seen it in this council chamber. And one of the safeguards is the Open Meetings Act, as Mr. Taylor stated. I've seen that violated in this chamber. I don't say that lightly. I can document that. And I don't like the bureaucracy of government. I don't like red tape. But sometimes it's necessary to have the public looking over our shoulder and to slow down the process and to make sure that political cronies are not taken care of through property acquisition and disposal of property. And I thought about it long and hard, and I'm not an advocate of making that system more nimble. We all saw what can happen when you just have a building commission. So I'm not in favor of making it more than, though it with the independent thinking members of council and independent members of the land reuse agency, I think you would have those safeguards where, you know, nothing would go on because it's a group decision with public input. But there's always a possibility that a lot of people get led down the wrong road.
Another thing is we have a hard time getting members for other committees. I don't know if we could fill all the places on this agency.
Unless we have a strong need, I make a motion to table.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to table the land use agency, the decision. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you. Number 4, our building commission update on the former BB&T buildings.
Leanne sent an email today, and can you pull that up? Like, on this. And so she says that, somebody shared it with a cash buyer or showed it to a cash buyer and there was no offer received. And that it was due to a lack of parking and a non-functional elevator. And I need to call her because that elevator, we had that fixed, so it is
Well, we did.
functional. Yeah, it may not, the power may be turned off there. I don't know. I need to check. We did have that tested and everything was fixed in there. And I think that was like $45,000 or something.
I think that's what you was telling me.
That we paid, right. And, nobody's, it hasn't been, they've had no in-person showings, but some requests for information. She did that interior video tour and sent it out. And a lot of people from out of state have been interested in that. That's where and she's getting a lot of interest from out of state. They had a nonprofit, that was gathering information to present a grant proposal to do a vendor establishment, which is different. Several vendors would be in that building. And she talked with the broker in Nicholas County that had an investor look at it before, and they're still expressing interest, but they haven't submitted an offer. And she says they're still continuing online and paper marketing, and they're still receiving interest, and they're discussing options with potential buyers, and that she feels like it might be time to reduce the price, and she's gonna recommend that to the building commission. So we will have to call a meeting of the building commission and talk about that price reduction.
Where are we at right now at the price?
615, I think,
650,000.
650.
And what's our total debt?
999,000. It's still around 900,000, in the $900,000 range. We have been making payments.
So you're gonna let her know about the elevator?
Yeah, I'll call her and talk to her and tell her. I'm gonna find out from Cecil or Charlie what's going on with that, if they have the power turned off to it or something.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move into, any other questions for? All right, we'll move into new business. To consider the request of St. Peter's and Paul's Catholic School to have Cinco de Mayo dinner, a fundraiser that involves serving wine on the 2nd of May this year.
Ms. Campbell is here to present on that.
Evening. Thank you for having me. Want to give you a big thank you for supporting our fish fry this year for the school. Chief, you guys, thank you very much for supporting us. We have another fundraiser coming up. It's our annual Cinco de Mayo fundraiser. It is a party that we put on at the church where we have our students do a performance of a traditional Mexican dance, and then we put on a traditional Mexican dinner. With that, we are proposing and asking to serve wine only. We've done this for the past 2 years. We have never had any problems with security, any problems with anything going on outside of the realm of the event. It is a family event. Like I said, our kids perform, so we are very mindful of that. But I'm here to ask again to be able to throw this event as such and answer any questions you all may have about that. If any. And please invite you, please do come. We do sell tickets. It's a really cute event. We have our littles. One of our teachers, Deanna Light, she is a native Mexican. I don't know if you all know her. She's married to Chris Light. She is wonderful. She's teaching our kids Spanish and she's teaching them some cultural stuff. And so every year her and her mother, her Mexican mother, homemade dresses and outfits for the kids, and the grandparents come and we have a big fellowship meal and performance. So that will be May the 2nd. And like I said, we sell tickets before, so if you were interested in coming, please let me know, and you're certainly invited. But if you have any questions for me about any of the logistics or anything like that, I'm here to answer those.
I make a motion that we approve the Cinco de Mayo dinner fundraiser.
I second it. All right, we have a motion and a second to accept St. Peter's and Paul's request. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you all so much. I hope to see you there.
Yeah, and someone just can call and we'll get that letter that you need for the ABC.
All right, moving on to number 6. The discussion and decision on the planning commission's recommendations for definitions of heavy equipment and mobile storage containers.
I put a copy of their minutes in the meeting and they want to add this to the zoning code that heavy equipment in an R1, R2, or R3 zone be defined as any vehicle with gross weight, whatever GVWR stands for.
Gross vehicle weight rating.
Okay, over 10,001 pounds and, or over 28 feet in length. Those two things have to be present for it to be, heavy equipment. And,
Looking at that, and I was thinking about that after this meeting was over. There is probably 2 things that may need to be added to that R1 and R2 code. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we do have employees of General Ambulance, Jan Care. Those ambulances weigh over that 10,001 pound. And you have gentlemen that take the wreckers home. And those, I think that there needs to be another part put to that does allow the use of emergency equipment only. Well, and it's also stated in there too, I think, with campers and, RVs, because those things, you can't sell somebody that can't go out here and buy $60,000-$70,000 RV and they can't park it in their yard. So RVs and campers were actually excluded. But I think that also needs to exclude emergency equipment.
School buses and all
Take that
that
back.
stuff too.
I have to take that back.
which I think it also needs to go back to the planning commission for this next one, and that was, a definition of the mobile storage containers. I think we were looking more for a zone that those could be allowed in as, rather than a definition for
Yeah,
that.
That was actually supposed to be in a B2 or B3. That wasn't put in there. I noticed that whenever you pulled it up.
Okay, so we just need to
Yeah, that needs to be redefined.
read it, okay. So, I guess if you all could just make a motion to send this back to the planning commission, then we could get it better defined the way it needs to be to go in with our code and accomplish what we need. We're having people everywhere are wanting these storage containers, and I mean, they're popping up everywhere. And not getting a permit, so, that's what we need, that's why we need it defined in a zone so that we'll know whether they need to get a permit or ask for a special use, or however planning thinks we should do that.
Well, I'll move to table item number 6
I second it.
until further review by the planning commission.
We have a motion and a second to table number 6. Returning it back to the planning commission. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you. Number 7. Discussion and decision on changing the speed limit on all Hidden Valley subdivision streets to 15 miles per hour.
And the chief of police has been working with the residents there.
Yeah, a couple months ago, one of the residents called and, proposed this, said that he had spoken to several residents out there. And then checking into it, there are like 12 streets that might be affected in the Hidden Valley area. Out of those 12, 3 of them are already 15. 4 of them are posted at 25. And 5 of them are not posted at all. I think it would be good. There's, I guarantee, children on every street that play in the streets. Didn't go to individual residences and check, but I can't imagine, of course, there'll inevitably be 1 or 2 that disagree, but I would think the majority of the residents out there would agree that as many children and as close as those houses are, as close as the streets are to one another, as many intersections as there are. And we would just have to, looks like, and I think I talked to Charlie about this, order or put up 9 15-mile-per-hour signs that are on existing poles, change them out or put new ones up. I don't think it'd be a great expense. Those signs are probably like $50, $75 a piece or something. I think it's a good idea. And it came from the citizens.
I was a resident for 18 years and
They
I,
complained about you speeding all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. I parked my car in the road to stop. But I'm totally in favor of that, so I'll make a motion that we do that.
I'll second.
I'll be honest, I've been working that area for about the last 3-4 weeks and people don't worry about no 25-mile-an-hour speeds. I come through there. I mean, I've actually almost had the door taken off my company car.
We'll get the signs up and see if we can make them more.
Who seconded over there?
I did. Everybody decide.
We have a motion and a second to change the speed limit on the Hidden Valley subdivision to 15 miles per hour. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, number 8, considering approving memorandums of understanding with Oak Hill Little League and New River Alliance of Climbers.
So these are, oh, there's Josh. He'll tell you what's going on.
So two MOUs here for council to review and approve. One is with the Oak Hill Little League and another is with NRAC, which is the New River Alliance of Climbers. Both of them just define the collaborative effort of maintenance within this new city park and its new facilities, the press box, concession stand, baseball fields. This is something that I don't think we've had in the past, Amita, with the Little League. So it just defines that collaboration of efforts for maintenance during baseball season.
Is there gonna be like netting to keep the balls from?
We do have baseball backstop netting to put up in the very back field against the homes. Already have that and we'll try to get it installed ASAP.
Diane, you got insurance to cover when that baseball goes through that wind?
We've got a landlord.
Josh.
Is this agreement with the Little League, does this stop like during Little League season that anybody could go to the fields in the evening time?
The fields are public. Anybody can play on the fields. That's correct. Yes.
So this doesn't stop it?
That's correct. This is
Okay,
not stop that.
gotcha.
I do want to give you some background on NRAC in case you aren't aware. Do you guys have any other questions regarding the Little League MOU? So the New River Alliance of Climbers, I'll just read briefly their mission statement in case you don't know. This is a collaboration between the New River Alliance of Climbers and Needles Eye Park. So the mission statement for NRAC is to protect and improve climbing access and infrastructure and to conserve climbing resources. For Oak Hill, NRAC provides value in climbing access and safety through maintenance and anchor installation and replacement. They are a nonprofit organization that helps to maintain safety protocols for fixed anchor hardware. We will lean on their expertise to evaluate safe fixed anchor installation and the hardware. So within the MOU, because of their nonprofit status, it would be my wish, as written within the MOU, to make a $1,000 annual donation to NRAC. And this donation helps their efforts to ensure safe and updated hardware to be installed on the cliffs at Needles Eye Park. You know, within Needles Eye, it falls within our expectation to, maintain all of the park within the safety standards of all the user groups. But this is something that sort of comes out of our scope of ability as far as the repair and or maintenance or installation of the fixed anchor hardware that's out there on the cliffs. And so we really need to lean on the local organization like NRAC to help maintain the safety standards for the installation and the maintenance of that fixed hardware. The fixed hardware is the metal rings that are attached to the rock. So it's just out of the scope of our ability to be responsible to maintain those. And so we really are wanting to lean on the organization like NRAC to maintain those standards.
Now, are those pins that ring is on, aren't those drilled and glued?
They are. There are standards set within the climbing management plan that we do already have written in collaboration with NRAC to maintain the standards of, they're 1/2 inch by 3.5 inches and or there are glue ends. So those are kind of the acceptable standards within the US right now. Nationwide.
There's one addition that Mr. Fowle recommended, and it's just at the very beginning. Where it has subject to applicable Fayette County. And then put City of Oak Hill and City of Oak Hill, West Virginia, and federal laws, regulation policy. That's the only thing we need to do. Because we took out the thing about the insurance.
All of the NRAC members, they have insurance on themselves. Questions regarding 2 MOUs and or NRAC?
And I'm sorry for doing this, but let me go back to the Little League for just a minute. And PJ brought up an excellent point about the agreement does not close the public fields for off season. And I'm not taking sides. I don't know enough about it to take sides. But I do remember in the past, some folks with the Little League program got upset if the fields were used when they were wet, because there was, there was the areas where grass doesn't grow, the pitcher's mound, for example, that if you step on that when it's soppy wet, that you create a big maintenance issue after that. So I don't know if it's on your radar screen, I'm fine with it.
It is, and it is covered within the MOU regarding the maintenance pre-games for us to make sure that we prepare the fields for games, as well as give them the ability to do any last minute maintenance that they have right before the game as well, breaking the fields and whatnot. Any machine work will be done by us, the City of Oak Hill, and they can use hand tools and whatnot to ensure everything. So despite any damage that we might experience from weather conditions and the public, it will fall on us to repair those pre-games.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for the
What
That's
about,
actually a good question, because, I mean, I've seen what those fields look like and don't have a game there. Somebody else is out there playing a adult base or softball game or something, next thing you know, you've got mud holes next to the bases. And it happens a lot.
That's
What about, say on a Saturday afternoon, little Johnny gets hurt down there playing baseball? Is the city under any financial obligation to do this MOU?
No, we would operate, within the standard insurance that we have within the park and anybody within the park.
And there's no, it's not, we don't hold a liability for offering something for people to do. And if something happens, that's not our.
And I think too, that if the little leagues or whenever they have theirs, the little league actually carries the insurance on their players.
Yes, that's correct.
Or entry fee or something.
So the only thing the city would be obligated to $1,000 a year.
For the NRAC organization, that's correct. For us to help facilitate them maintaining and replacing anchors that they deem bad within the park.
We need to table this until we get the wording changed, or
The only thing we have to insert is just that city of Oak Hill.
We can include that in the motion.
Okay.
That would be deemed a minor change, so that can be done without paying it.
May we have a motion, please?
There, you wanna take them separately or together, or I'll move to, approve the MOU or the MOU with the Oak Hill Little League.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the MOU with the Oak Hill Little League. All those in favor? All opposed? Thank you. May we have a motion for a new Alliance of Climbers?
Make that motion, Mayor, at the MOU of the New River Alliance Climbers with $1,000 a year.
May we have a second?
I second it.
you have to make that addition too, PJ. Motion, you'll have to
Oh,
make
is it on
that
this one?
addition.
Okay, I thought that was. In the addition of the city of Oak Hill in the terms.
And I second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept or to approve the MOU with the New River Alliance of Climbers. All those in favor? All opposed? Thank you.
Thanks, council. Look forward to seeing everybody, hopefully, the city park 9:30 on Saturday.
Yes, sir. You know, by,
Glad you
when
brought
you
that
say
back
us,
up,
Josh,
Josh.
it's
I
gonna
forgot
be
about
mostly you know that, right?
Hey,
I'll be able to help you. I'm a baseball nut. Well, I used to be, I got fat. All right. Number 9, consider approving the project agreement for the construction phase of Oak Hills Virginia Street Sidewalk Project.
Finally, we are about to reach the construction phase of this project. So the state has sent us the agreement. And it basically outlines just the. How'd I put it in?
So what's the amount we gotta come up with?
We had to come up with 179,000.
Which is 20%.
Yeah, it's 20%. I must not have, I can go get it. What's in? We have to pay our match up front with this, which I hate. I hate to do, but they won't do it any other way.
Do we get that back?
No, that's that's our part of the project.
You got that tucked away somewhere?
The money,
Yeah.
yeah. It's in our sales, we'll have to take it from sales tax. The That's, well, it's, I think toward the end where it tells the amount. Right there, yeah. 179,400, and they will put in 717,600. And if it goes over this, then we have to just figure out what we're gonna do, so hopefully it doesn't go over that. I think we could change the project if it would happen to do that. We could shorten it a little or something.
We're not, are they still moving the poles?
No, they're doing, yes. And it even says that in here.
Is there a starting date?
No, but it doesn't say that in there, but, Thrasher is about through with their plan design, so it shouldn't be too much longer. We had a meeting, when we had our meeting in March, he said that he should have that done by this month, so.
And that's from Jones Avenue to Central Avenue.
Down to about Southern States.
So- okay.
So is Virginia Street not in there?
That it is.
That is.
It's the sidewalks on Virginia Street.
Okay. I was going by Jones and Central.
Oh.
We lose Virginia Street.
I would move to approve the project agreement for construction phase of the Oak Hill, Virginia Street sidewalk project.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second approving the project agreement for the construction phase of the Virginia Street Sidewalk Project. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion is carried. And our addition, number 10, considering approving a resolution of support for congressionally directed spending projects.
We were notified on Friday, was it Friday, that Congressman Miller and Senator Capito, I don't remember seeing Capito. Okay, so anyway, they have opened up their congressionally directed spending portal again, but it is due by next Tuesday. So we have these resolutions of support. They're the same ones we did for the projects last year that we were awarded, but then they didn't get funded. So Tyler is just going to submit those again. We're just updating the resolutions. And it's for 3 projects. 4 projects. The city park.
City Park, phase 3, that's $1.8 million, which is what we got approved for last year. The other one we got approved for was, that's about $7,000. I'm hoping maybe that they're just gonna take their approved list from last year and carry it forward to this year. And then the other 2 projects were sanitary board and equipment, which is the excavator, and then telemetry system, which is like a monitoring system for them, about $500,000. We applied for that last year, it was not approved, and included in the appropriation too.
Do we need a motion for that? Well, I make a motion for Tyler to resubmit all those and hopefully we get the money.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second approving the resolution.
Could I,
Yes, sir.
could I make a comment that, Tyler, I wanna, not just you, but, everybody that worked on those, I know the amount of work that's involved in them. And I know you're just resubmitting what's already been done, but that's a tremendous amount of work. And if you don't have one ready, you get notified with such short notice, like last Friday through Tuesday. You can't, it's impossible to do them. So I appreciate it. And I know the work that went into that. So thank you.
Yes, it was a great amount of work that Tyler and Allison and Josh
was involved in the, Zach was involved, it was a whole team.
and one other lady, I can't, Jenna Grayson, yes.
Thanks to all of you. All right, let's move along. We have a motion and a second approving a resolution of support for congressionally directed spending projects. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Tyler, and approved. You've all read the department reports in your packet except for MS4. We can get a motion. We don't have MS4 tonight.
Don't throw trash in the drinks.
If we can get a motion to accept the police report and the Parks and Recreation report in one, that would be wonderful.
I'll make a motion to accept the, police report, Parks and Recreation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the police report and Parks and Recs. Any questions? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion's carried. Any council comments? Yes, ma'am.
And it might, I don't know if it goes back to Josh or Demita, the signs in the park. Did we ever find those signs?
No, but we are having them. Did you find them?
No, I did not find them, but the Gary and Linda Harding sign is being remade.
Remade.
Yes, and we'll have it on Saturday.
And then we'll have Carlton Way. I don't think we're gonna replace the one with his picture, but we'll still have the street named Carlton Way.
And is it up to the Little League to put like the sponsor signs back up, or does the city do that?
That'll be up to Little League.
Okay.
And there's none left. None of those are left. They'll have to redo their.
I actually found some.
You did, okay.
I'll give them back to Little League.
Well, I guess they'll have to ask for their sponsorship again and redo signs. The ones that we did, they came and took them down, but then they didn't do anything with them, so we think they got taken care of somehow to the dump or something.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'd like to commend our street department. I mean, they've been coming up, doing a lot of the side streets and stuff. I noticed them up Summerlee and, up Central, doing, street sweeps and everything else. And then with everybody that's doing the sidewalk changes, I just want to commend them guys because their job is actually quite dangerous, especially when they're standing out. There was a 23-year-old man killed today out on 77 that was patching. He was working. He was in a work zone and still got killed. And it happens. So these guys that are out here doing what they're doing in our streets, even though it's only 25 miles an hour, doesn't mean that they can't end up dead. So we need to really, thank our street department for what they do for our city. And Charlie and them, I really commend them for all their work.
Absolutely. Also, I'd like to thank them myself. They got a few phone calls and there was some drainage issues and they went right out and took care of it from the actual directness of the sidewalks we put in. Our guys was fixing the state problem. It's good.
I'd like to commend the fire department once again with the ISO protection class rate 3, which is I might be wrong, but I believe I'm right, the lowest you can get.
In regard to volunteer fire department.
Right, and that's a tremendous savings on property insurance.
Any future agenda items? Anyone?
Can I ask one more thing?
Sure.
All right, during the day, those big trucks, long haul, long run, I mean, they fly past the bank. I know they're going faster than the speed limit, but they're so big and they're breaking down our roads. Do we not have anywhere else for them to go?
They don't wanna get up Whipple and forward. They say it's too much of a stop place for there, so they come all the way through, up to Whipple and come into town instead of hitting that.
But
back.
they are going mighty fast
Yes. I watch.
and they're big trucks.
We did get,
It is a hard pull trying to pull up out of Whipple if you're trying to get up 19. I mean, I've drove trucks for years and trying to pull that off up through there, and most of those guys, I'd say they're pretty close to 80, if not 90. And it's legal at 90. They can actually be up to 100. But that is a hard pull, and trying to cross 19 right there with no light is probably the one reason why they're sending them through our city.
They're going,
But they are going way faster than 25 mile an hour.
there's no way they're doing that. And
I
that's
don't know if
usually
you
in the
can get,
morning,
uh,
between 9 and 12.
Yes.
Liz, is there any way you can get a hold of DOT and maybe have something done for that for us?
We call
Be, a suggestion. I mean,
them in the morning, see if they can't send a crew up.
see if they'll just redo
that'd be great.
exit out there and give us a northbound.
I'll mention that. That's your request.
That would be a great answer to it if we could get a, entrance off Pea Ridge Road, but I don't think that is gonna happen. I think that's been mentioned a few times, hasn't it?
Any other new future agenda items?
I have one, that I'm gonna ask to be put on the agenda for next month. We have started some negotiations with the owners of, piece of property out at the industrial park behind the street department shop, and it's a piece of property that we need. So I'm gonna put it on the agenda so that we can, talk about purchasing that piece of property. I will talk to Bill Fowle about it after the meeting.
Any announcements? I'll read the ones we have. Laying of the levy tomorrow night, 6 PM here. We have an informational meeting with SHPO on historical downtown designation on April 16th at 10:30 in the morning at City Hall here. We have a city park ribbon cutting Saturday morning at 9:30. And we have our next council meeting will be May 12th. Also, we are doing memorial benches, so you can check that information out on the city's webpage. Does anyone else have anything? Well, if not, all minds are clear. Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone. Thank you.